Alfons Mucha Oracle Cards is a new deck of cards by Lo Scarabeo, published through Llewellyn. And Llewellyn very kindly sent me a deck of these after I told them that I was very interested, and very kindly they sent me a review copy, and I was right to ask them for a copy because they're quite lovely. Now, I'm not an Oracle deck, let's say, kind of person. I really have a deep love for tarot, Oracle cards. I see their place in the world. I see their purpose in the world, but it's just not necessarily been my go-to. But I can really see the attraction, and in terms of just sheer beauty, yes, a lot of the most beautiful cards do tend, or most beautiful decks do tend to be made as oracle decks. Now, this one was not initially, the illustrations in this deck were not designed by Alfons Mucha to be an oracle deck. However, I think that Lo Scarabeo have done a fantastic job in making these cards relevant and beautiful, and really, I'm a big fan of Alfons Mucha's. You have probably seen my review of Le Pater by the Century Guild, and I just love his art style, and these cards, they encompass so much of what I love about Alfons Mucha. He had a really interesting take on the divine, and it was very controversial at the time, of course, but I think that it really appeals to the I don't know whether to say neo-pagan or certainly eclectic perspective on spirituality that became kind of prevalent at the turn of the 19th to 20th centuries. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this style, of this feel, and these cards really do them justice. Okay, now in terms of the quality of the build of the cards, they're nice. They're not as easy to shuffle maybe as I might like, but that's really a question of taste, I think. Many people complain when cards are too glossy. I don't mind glossy cards at all. Cards that slip all over the place. It's better if it can be somewhere in between. The deck of cards, you put it down and it kind of on its own kind of starts moving away like that, right? But there is a kind of I don't know, maybe there is, maybe there isn't a just balance between the two extremes of too slippery and just not slippery enough. As I say, these are quite difficult to shuffle. I normally sleeve my cards. I know that that's heresy for many people. The way I consider that cards work, it shouldn't bother in the accuracy of the reading. Some people say no, it's the energy of the cards. You have to feel the paper. Well, I feel the plastic, and it doesn't really matter what you're feeling with your fingers. As I say, the way I think that card divination works, really having a direct contact with the cards with your fingers, it makes no difference whatsoever. I may be wrong, but I've been doing readings with sleeves for a very long time now, and it's just as accurate as when I used no sleeves. So these cards are kind of not standard sized, right? So it's I'm not saying it's impossible to find sleeves that will fit these, but they're certainly not a standard tarot size. So yeah, so for the shuffling, you kind of have to resort to the making two piles and rifling them like that, which works perfectly fine. Of course, they're really, really nice thick cardstock. Let me just zoom in on that, see if I can give you an idea. Come on. Too many interesting things in the background there. Yeah, you get the general gist, right? You get the general idea. And let me just get it in the light so that you see how nicely matte they are. You know, once again, something I really appreciate. There's really little to no texture. You know, it's not like what do you call it, linen finished or anything like that. It's just very, very, very smooth. Just a little bit grippy, which some people will love and some people will appreciate less, I suppose. Let me, if I just pull them apart like that, you'll see that there are some clumps that form. Again, not a major problem for some people, but when you're trying to shuffle these two cards wouldn't necessarily just come apart, right? There we go. So you get the general idea. In terms of the little white book, here we go. Let me just zoom out a little bit. It's very tame. There's nothing mind blowing. The description of the cards themselves are helpful, although I would say, once again, kind of tame. I'd say that if you're picking these up for anything other than the art, then you'll be reasonably well served by these. I like the fact that they've offered two different types, two different ways of using the cards. One for just meditation, and then the other for getting an idea on your day or whatever. And it's in 4 different languages. It's in English, it's in Spanish, it's in Portuguese and Italian. There we go. Yeah. Very, very nice indeed. There we go. That's pretty much it. I like the box. The box is very nice. Yeah, 2-part, and then there's a nice ribbon. I always appreciate that in card boxes when there's a ribbon that helps to pull them out. And how many cards are there in here? I think it is 36 cards. There we go. And maybe I can just show you a few more here before ending the video, and you get the general idea. I just love these so much. I think they're really, really lovely. And those sides here, I think they work really nicely, right? The design that's been chosen to showcase the central image. Yeah, I think that works really well. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There we are. That's my review. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care.